first topic or first experiment of your syllabus that is coming under here in unit number 1, estimation of total hardness of water. Okay, what is the background you should have before going to the experiment is you should know what is hardness, you should know what is hard water, types of hardness, how we express hardness, like CaCO3 equivalent we use to express hardness, and what are the units of hardness, names of the salts responsible for making water hard. This much background we should have. Okay, considering that we will proceed how to estimate hardness. That method, total hardness, that method is also called as by using standard EDTA, or that method is also called as by complexometric method. Okay, what is the basic idea of the experiment? It is simple titration. See, basic idea is that this is my flask. Okay, you know the flask, conical flask, and this is a burette. In the conical flask, suppose I have taken 10 ml hard water sample or any volume of hard water sample. Okay, it may be tap water or bottle water or drinking water or river water or any type of water sample. Fine. And this is standard EDTA. Okay, and we consider that as it is a hard water, it has certain number of soluble hardness causing ions, say calcium ions. Okay, as we express hardness in the form of CaCO3, say it is a calcium ions. Okay, these soluble should be underlined. Certain number of soluble hardness causing ions are there. That number we want to find out. That is a total hardness of the water. Okay, so it is a reaction of this against this. Now see what is this EDTA. EDTA is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Most of you might be knowing that name. It is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Full form and rough structure, planar structure is like this. It is ethylene diamine 1, 2, 3, 4 tetraacetic acid. Fine. Now it is a hexadentate ligand. It is an example of hexadentate ligand. What is the ligand? It is electron rich species that forms a bond with a electron deficient species. Simple. Okay. Now when you prepare solution of this, electron negative oxygen take the electron pairs towards itself. H plus will go in the medium. This will be negative. This will be negative. This will be partial negative. Okay. So these are the 4 oxygen carrying 4 pairs of electron, and this nitrogen is basic. So 2 pairs. It is an example of hexadentate ligand. In the experiment, we can use even disodium salt of EDTA. This is filled in the burette. So simply in the estimating hardness, we are adding this EDTA from the burette to the flask. Slowly, carefully, dropwise. What is in the flask? Say certain number of hardness causing ions. X number of hardness causing soluble ions are there. So whenever there is a contact of this EDTA with these soluble ions, this EDTA donates the pair of electrons like this, and it forms a complex. And it forms a complex. It has charge of 2 negative. This is called as metal EDTA complex. Such complex is formed. Okay. At the end of reaction, there is a formation of complex. That's why it is called as complexometric reaction. And the simple basic idea is that just we have to note down to form a complex with all calcium ions, to trap all soluble hardness causing ions present in this water. How much EDTA we need to add, that much we have to record. That is CBR of my titration. Okay. Once all hardness causing ions present in the hard water are trapped by EDTA, or we can say are consumed by EDTA, indicator comes to 1 pH or solution comes to 1 pH, it shows color change. Indicator shows color change. Once you observe the color change of this flask, you stop adding EDTA. That will be your constant burette reading. That will be your CBR. And from that volume of EDTA, easily we can estimate hardness of water. That is a simple complexometric titration, or that is a simple basic idea of the experiment. Now, to have a simplicity of the experiment, we'll divide the experiment into two parts. We will divide the experiment into two parts. I will write part 1 here. What is part 1? It is standardization of, it is making EDTA standard, called as standardization of EDTA. What is meaning of this? Meaning of this is that what EDTA I am using in the estimation part, it should be standard. I should know the exact concentration of that EDTA or molarity of the EDTA. Then only my calculation part will be correct. So we are making EDTA standard. So that in the part 1 it is not standard. We can say it is approximate concentration of EDTA or even unknown concentration of EDTA. Okay. Now in the part 1, instead of taking this, we take 10 ml 0.01 molar zinc sulfate. Any salt solution you take to make EDTA standard. In the flask, here we are taking 10 ml 0.1 molar zinc sulfate, means standard zinc sulfate solution. Or we can take CaCl2 solution, or we can take CaCO3 salt, or any other salt. Known volume but and known concentration. Any salt you can, any salt solution you can use. Fine. What indicator we are using? Whose name is Heliochrome black tea. How much? 2-3 drops, 3-4 drops of EBT we are using. Okay. And this complex formation reaction between this and now zinc cations. If I have taken CaCO3, it is calcium ions. So initially, in finding out concentration of EDTA, when you add EDTA from here to here, this EDTA will trap the ions, zinc cations. If I use zinc sulfate solution, fine. If I use CaCO3, it will trap calcium ions. EBT is my indicator, and this complex formation reaction between this and this takes place easily or takes place luxuriantly under basic medium when pH of the solution is 10. So we will try to maintain pH of the solution around 9 to 10. You know, for that purpose, to maintain the pH, we use buffer solution. We have to prepare buffer solution of pH 10, and you take 4 to 5 ml buffer solution. I hope you understood. Role of buffer is to maintain pH, because we know that at pH 10 there is a comfortable reaction, easy reaction. Why at pH 10? Because at pH 10 all the 6 pairs of EDTA are available to form bonding. So there will be strong bonding. This EDTA will hold the, suppose this is EDTA and this is soluble ions, it will hold the ions very properly or tightly to form a complex. Simple. Now, before addition of this, we have taken 1 and 2 and 3. So this zinc, what are the reactions? Zinc ions present in the zinc sulfate will be reacting with the EBT. Heliochrome black tea is a name of indicator. It itself is a chelate. So this indicator, which is a blue color liquid, which is a blue color dye, and a chelate react with this. So it will form zinc EBT complex. It will form zinc EBT complex, right? This complex is unstable. This complex is unstable, means very reactive. If it is very reactive, if suppose I am very reactive, then I will start running from one place to another place. I may fall down, I may broken down. Unstable means very reactive. Simple meaning is that this bond is breakable bond, okay? And it is a colored complex. Somewhere wine red color complex is getting. So before addition of EDTA, you have to observe wine red color complex, indicating the complex between this and this. This and this metal indicator complex. After that, after observing wine red, you add EDTA from the burette to the flask. What is there in the flask? Flask has zinc EBT complex, colored complex. Now what we are adding from the burette? I am adding EDTA. Right? So in the second reaction, EDTA we are adding from burette to the flask. This is there in the flask. This bond is unstable, means breakable, and EDTA is a strong chelating agent, rather very strong chelating agent, having very high attraction for the positively charged soluble ions, right? So on addition of EDTA, there is a breaking of these bonds, the breaking of the bond, and there is a formation of new bond. What you will be getting? I will get here zinc EDTA complex. I will get zinc EDTA complex. This is not unstable. This is quite stable complex, and it is colorless complex. Fine. Once all zinc cations taken by EDTA, EBT will separate out in its original form. That is the role of indicator. So plus what? EBT. EBT color is blue. It's a blue color dye. So once I get blue color, or once the wine red changes to blue, let us stop adding EDTA. Okay, and record what is the volume of EDTA required to consume all the zinc cations. Suppose it is XML. CBR is XML. Okay, from that XML easily we can find out exact concentration of EDTA or exact molarity of EDTA. That is called as standardization of EDTA. Okay, so what is the calculation part? It is titration of zinc sulfate against approximate concentration of EDTA. Okay, so M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. M1 is molarity of zinc sulfate, 0.01 we have taken. So right, V1 is the volume of zinc sulfate, 10 ml we have taken. So 10 ml. M2 is the molarity of EDTA, that is the concentration of EDTA, that we are going to find out. So M2 we are going to find out, and V2 is volume of EDTA required. Volume is CBR, that is XML. So from this XML, you can easily find out M2. M2 is molarity of EDTA or concentration of EDTA. Same EDTA we are going to use in the second part. But as we know the M2 of that, the same EDTA will be called as standard EDTA. This is part 1 of the experiment. These are the simple calculation part of this part 1. Okay, fine. Now go to second part of the experiment. What is second part? Estimation of total hardness of water. Part 1, part 2, experimental setup, burette, pipette, chemicals, everything is same. Only thing is that this EDTA, now it is called as, now this will be called as standard EDTA, because we know M2 of EDTA or concentration of EDTA, and instead of using zinc sulfate or any other salt solution, we are using hard water sample, any hard water sample of any volume. So we will be using say 10 ml hard water instead of zinc sulfate. Hard water, EBT as it is as an indicator, and buffer as it is to maintain pH, same EDTA. Up to 0 mark you refill the burette, but make it standard, label it as a standard EDTA. Fine. So what we will be doing? We will simply add standard EDTA from the burette to the flask. Okay. What is there in the flask? Say certain number of hardness causing ions are there. Say calcium ions are there. Fine. EDTA again will be adding. EDTA will trap the calcium ions, soluble hardness causing ions, and see the reactions. Instead of zinc you write calcium. So there will be calcium EBT complex. There will be CaEBT. We are adding EDTA. Finally, I will get CaEDTA complex. I will get CaEDTA complex. And it is colorless. And it is colorless. Once all hardness causing ions, say calcium ions, taken by EDTA, EBT will separate out in its original form. So plus EBT, whose color is blue. Whose color is blue. Again the same observation as that of part 1. Wine red changes to blue. Once I get blue color, indicates that all the hardness causing ions are taken by the chelating agent. Just I have to record what is the volume of EDTA required to get blue color. Suppose this is the volume. This is the YML. That is the CBR of the titration. From this YML, by doing simple calculation part, easily we can estimate hardness of water. This is a this is a part 2 of the experiment, isn't it? Now let us see the now go to the calculation part of second part, estimation of hardness. We have noted what is the CBR for the second part, estimation of hardness, that is a YML. Now see the calculation part. Basically, this is a reaction. Estimation of hardness is a reaction between EDTA and CaCO3 equivalent. Because no matter who is causing hardness, what salt is causing hardness, we are taking in the form of CaCO3 equivalent. So CaCO3 equivalent, and one EDTA at a time form one complex with one hardness causing ion. So calcium or metal ions. It is 1:1 reaction. One EDTA, hexadentate ligand, forms one complex with one soluble ions. Okay, so it is 1:1 reaction. It is here 1:1 reaction of EDTA and hardness causing salt, taking in the form of CaCO3 equivalent. We know that. So 1 mole of EDTA corresponds to 1 mole of CaCO3. Why? Because it is 1:1 reaction. Now 1 mole of EDTA means what? Means 1 molar EDTA. Means 1 liter 1 molar EDTA. Corresponds to what? 1 mole, 1 molar of CaCO3. There also we can write 1000 ml 1 molar CaCO3. But in the experiment, we wanted to know volume of this and number of these. So instead of writing like this 1000 ml 1 molar CaCO3, we'll write how much of CaCO3 requires to prepare 1 molar solution of 1 liter volume. That is equal to molecular mass of CaCO3, that is 100. Fine. Now convert this 1000. We have converted this 1000 to 1 ml here. So 1 ml 1 molar EDTA, we have converted gram to milligram. It will be 100 milligram. 1000 to 1 we have converted, so gram to milligram. So equation will be 1 ml 1 molar EDTA corresponds to 100 milligram CaCO3. Okay, this is standard equation coming from 1:1 reaction. Now see, in the experimental part, in the part 2, what is your CBR, how much EDTA required? It was YML. So we can write like this: if 1 ml 1 molar EDTA, hardness will be 100. So for this volume of EDTA and of this concentration, M2 is the concentration of EDTA, corresponding amount of hardness is how much? It will be under this condition, this is the hardness. So for this volume and this concentration, what is hardness? It is simple cross multiplication. YML into M2 into 100. This is in milligram. So these many milligrams of CaCO3 hardness is your answer. Per what volume of water? Per what volume of water? What is your answer? Per how much we have used in the titration? During the titration, we have used 10 ml of water. Per what volume of water? Per 10 ml of water. Why 10 ml? Because we have used 10 ml. If next time I am using 100 ml water, it will be milligram per 100 ml and so on. Fine. Suppose this answer is Z milligram per 10 ml. Okay. We want answer in a milligram per liter. That is also called as parts per million. So keep milligram as it is. Convert 10 ml to 1000 ml. So this into 100. This will be your answer. This into 100 will be the total hardness of your water sample. This is the calculation part of second part. Okay. I hope you understood. As it is 1:1 reaction, you find out this Y into M2 into 100. Keep milligram as it is and convert whatever you have used volume to 1 liter. That becomes milligram per liter. That is the hardness in milligram per liter. Suppose your hardness is coming 300 ppm. Very hard water. What is meaning of this? It is 300 milligram per liter. What is meaning of this? Meaning is that in this 1 liter of water sample, there are 300 milligrams of salt. Okay? Hardness is 300 milligram per liter. This is